Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Keep chasing the sunshine and go out and play.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another deal reveal. Today, I am coming to you from maybe your hometown. I am in the GTA, the Greater Toronto region, and I'm actually in Guelph, Ontario right now, hosting a deal reveal. So I decided to take a long weekend and visit my family up in Canada. And so I am here, sharing with you our patrioticness, if you will. It's really nice to be back in Canada. I hadn't been for a good number of months now, but I'm back and continuing to serve you with your US real estate appetite. So, salut Robert. Hello, hello. Nice to see you here. Who else do we have? We have Charles and Erwin, and we have Francois and Guylaine and John and Robert, Steve, Varun, all of our extended Facebook Live family as well. Welcome, hello, and welcome to the Deal Reveal. Tonight, we are going to cover two properties that were actually on our most latest Epic Bus Tour, and one no one put an offer on, so I put an offer, I negotiated, I got the price down for you, and if you're interested in this particular deal, well, let me know, and you can pick up where I left off. The other one, I just learned just got locked up, but I think it gives you a good idea of what we see on the bus tour here in Cleveland, and maybe it'll give you the motivation, the incentive, and maybe the not the foresight, but you'll understand maybe a little bit more what type of properties we visit on the bus tour and see if it's a fit for you. So we're going to go see a duplex. That's the one that's up for grabs right now. If you're ready, if you're excited, if you like the numbers I'm going to show, you can just send us an email and we will help you along the way. And the other one is going to be a 6-unit, a sixplex, fully tenanted, very little to do on it other than collect rents and just keep maintaining it year after year. So that's what we have in store. That's what we have on the menu tonight for the deal reveal. Let's get started. So, as I said, this is kind of a sneak peek, if you will, a post-peak sneak peek of the Epic Bus Tour that we had 2 weekends ago. And so you're going to see exactly what some of our participants saw. And we are featuring it as the deal of the week. So we're going to analyze these deals lightning fast, like we usually do. We're going to see if there's cash flow. And here they are. The two properties that we're going to cover today, both in Cleveland, Ohio, a duplex for basically $130,000 and a sixplex for just over $300,000. So let's take a look. Remember, this is let's make this as interactive as we possibly can here. If you like the deal, give a thumbs up. And if you really, really like the deal, meaning you want to take it on, send us an email, info@jkrealestatepartners.com. We never have any bidding wars here. First come, first serve. If you're the first email that says I'm interested in this property, I will connect you either to the agent, to the wholesaler, to the seller, whoever is the direct contact for the property. So let us jump right in. So let's start with the one that is relevant, more relevant, I'll say, for you right now. A duplex, a double on the west side of Cleveland, located at 2118 Denison Avenue, with an accepted offer already. Here it is. We have a 32,000. And by the way, I got it lower than this. I got it for $110,000. All right, but then we have to compensate the people involved and so forth. But basically, that's where the deal's at. It is a 4-2 duplex. However, the layout is a little bit interesting. It's a 3-bedroom up and it's a 1-bedroom down. The upstairs is already tenanted, very, very low rents at $750. They've already agreed that rents need to go up and they will go up at sale. The bottom 1-bedroom, which could be converted to a 2-bedroom because the layout permits it, is vacant currently. And so that's just a matter of putting in a tenant at market rents. And so relatively turnkey. I mean, during the bus tour, we did visit this property. We saw the vacant down unit. The up unit was tenanted, so we didn't go in, but we can take a couple of seconds here to look at the property. So pretty good. A nice big porch area outside. There is a garage here that definitely needs some love. Here it is. But that's a personal choice. It's not going to give you much or any more rent to fix it up. So maybe you just focus your money on the property itself, maximize your ROI. This is the second unit upstairs, big closet. We got the room there, one bedroom, two bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, living room. So as you can see, it's lived in, it's rent ready. Is it perfect? No. Do you need to do anything? At first glance, it doesn't look like it, but during the inspection, we'll know. So we got the full 3 bedrooms up there, and then we have the 1 bedroom downstairs and the mechanicals in the basement. So that's this property here, located at 2118 Denison Avenue. So first and foremost, let's take a look at what the estimated value of this property is. If you follow this trend, I'm saying it's worth probably about 130, 140. And there is an appraisal out already because I'm handling this as the deal butler for you. And so I'm running an appraisal, an inspection, everything, all the underwriting due diligence is being assisted for you on this deal. And so we have 130 to 150 is what I'm expecting the appraisal to come back at. So buying it at the 130, if it is truly turnkey, we might be buying with a little bit of equity, but this is ultimately a turnkey property, so we can't expect huge discounts for a turnkey property. So is there equity in the deal? A little bit, it looks like. But mainly this is buy something on the west side. I forgot to pull up the map here for you. On the west side of Cleveland, in Old Brooklyn, which is just south of Clark Fulton. Let's pull this up. It's on the west side. For those of you who know Cleveland a little bit better, on the west side, you have the very desirable Ohio City and Tremont, which is much further, well, not much further, but north of here. Pull this out. All right. So up here, we have the downtown core, right? Downtown core, the flats. Then on the west side, we have the Ohio City, Tremont area, the Christmas Story House, Clark Fulton, and then we go into basically Old Brooklyn and Brooklyn Center right in this way. So that's where we are at. I like the area. I think this area is going to continue taking value over the years for sure. Everything along here has jumped up in value. It's basically doubled in value in the last 3-4 years, and I think it still has a lot of room to grow. So that's where we're at there. The last rule that we need to go check is this property going to cash flow? And so let's go. You can choose to make this property a Section 8 property. And so for that, we can go to the rent determination app right here, appcmha.net/rent determination. And based on the number of bedrooms, remember it's a 3 bedroom up and a 1 bedroom down. This is the maximum the program's going to pay. So don't put this number in here. I would remove about at least, well, about $150 from these numbers just to be a little bit more realistic. So here, let's say it's 800 down, and here we have 13 up. That would be 21 total for the entire duplex. 21 a month. There's 12 months a year. So that means this duplex can generate 25,000 gross income per year. Here we're in Cleveland. I'm going to use the 55% rule. It's about $14,000 a year in net operating income. And if you buy this property for say like 120 and you end up putting 10K into it, you're in for 130. That means you are buying at about a 10.7 cap. 10.7 cap rate. If you're financing this property at 7.5 or 8%, you're definitely going to see some cash flow off this deal. So that's what we have for you. It seems like we have a little bit of an equity potentially at purchase, and this is really more of a cash flow and a low headache project. It is already turnkey or very, very close to turnkey, and you're hitting the double-digit cap rate, which even in the US is rare. You know, you have to go to one of these type of markets like Cleveland or the Midwest to hit these double digit caps relatively easily. So we have cash flow, we might have a little bit of discount. Our two golden rules are looking good up front, and so What do we think? Is this a deal or no deal for you? Let me know. Shout it out. Let me know your reactions. Do we like this deal? Now, this is on the west side of Cleveland, right? And so the prices will be higher. And so, but the fact that we're in at 110, 120, 130 for a turnkey duplex on the west side, they're rarer than, the junkers on the east side, put it that way. Um, because this property is it's an interesting layout with a 3 bedroom up and a 1 bedroom down. I'm also going to go to Rentometer just real quick to see where the data is pulling. So see this 3 bedroom um, would bring probably about 1150. And if you recall, we ran 1300 off CMHA or off Section 8 here, which is guaranteed rents subsidized by the federal government in the US. So here it looks like that program pays higher than market average rents for 3 bedrooms, which is interesting. So that means we might want to lean towards that program rather than just have a regular cash tenant for the 3 bedroom. Let's do the same thing for the 1 bedroom downstairs. That's pretty similar. A 1 bedroom would be about 850 and we ran 800. So maybe downstairs, if you leave it as a 1 bedroom, it'd be better with a cash tenant rather than Section 8, but we're treading that line. It's pretty similar. However, one last little thing here, we can make this into a 2 bedroom downstairs. It's going to cost a little bit more on the rehab, maybe add like $5,000 to build the wall, put a door, make sure there's a light fixture and a window and all these fun things. But let's see if it's worth the squeeze. A 2 bedroom here does jump up quite a bit. You're between a thousand and 1100 for a 2 bedroom. And so maybe putting an extra five to get an extra, $200 a month, you see value in that. So maybe something to explore with your general contractor, or if you're buying with the Deal Butler, you can inquire with We Mind Renovations, our own in-house contracting division, and explore that option as well. So overall, I think it's looking pretty good here. I like this. I saw a couple of thumbs up, so I think this one's good. If you're interested in this deal, it is a real live deal. I negotiated it post bus tour. I got the price down, another 20,000 for you. And so if you're interested, just send us an email. And I also negotiated that we can get financing on the deal, right? It does not have to be a cash purchase. We can come in with financing. Okay, so that's another rare thing to have a low price and financing. So if you're interested, you know what to do. Second deal, a 6 unit located on East 105th, very, very close to the lake in the Glenville area. So I'm going to pull this out on a map because it really stands out. This is it. 6 units. These are not wood windows. This is not wood siding. So the exterior, will not be a problem for any subsidized rent program or anything like that. So I really like the outside of this building. It will make it a lot easier to navigate the city and inspections. But I want to put this on the map for you because it's really, really interesting. And this is going to give you an idea of how Cleveland can operate. From street to street, your neighborhood could change dramatically. And this is no exception. So let me just zoom out here. This is the property in Glenville. And if you go up just one street and you cross underneath the highway here, you fall in Bracknell. Bracknell right here, right? All this is Bracknell. Bracknell is an A class area. These properties are 500,000, 1 million, 2 million, 10 million, right? There's some mansions along here, right? The owners of the Cleveland Browns, has a mansion right here, like right here, actually, right at the end of the street. Boom, right there. So this property is very, very close, but it is in Glenville, right? You go from an A area to a D plus or C minus, depending on what street you're in. Okay, so you're not in Bracknell, but you're very, very close to Bracknell here. But let's take a look at this particular property. It is in zip code 44108. And actually, right now, the rents are over 5,000 a month. The rents right now are 5,200 a month. So let's first run our numbers with the current rents. 5,200 a month, that's 62,400 a year. And we're an apartment in Cleveland. I'm going to use that 55% rule again. We're about at 34,000 $320 per year. That's your net operating income. That's how much this building is making if you bought it cash, but you paid for taxes, insurance, management, maintenance, utilities, and a shit buffer budget. So if you bought it cash, you'd make $34,000 a year. Now, they are asking, well, 325,000 on something this size. I think it'd be reasonable to pad your budget to at least have a $25,000, just in case you find things and so forth. So let's just say this whole project is 350,000, which is pretty much turnkey, to be honest. Only putting 25,000 in a 6 unit is turnkey, in my opinion. So if you take your NOI and you divide it by your total project cost, you're going to get your cap rate. And in this, it's a 9.8 cap. Now you are this close to a 10 cap in a 5+ turnkey asset. You don't see that very often. Okay. So this does have cash flow. This is occupied, already operating. Do we have room to increase rents? Let's just take a quick look here. If we go back to Rentometer, this property is a mix of of 1 and 2 bedrooms. Not this one here. Let's go get that address. Let's slap it into Rentometer. This property, let's say a 1 bedrooms, 1 baths apartments. Let's see what this rents for. And I'm going to take the average of the 1 and 2. So the 1 bedroom, see how low this is here actually. About 750 for 1 bedrooms. And I just ran out of trials. Give me a minute. I have to turn on my VPN and restart my counter here. So don't run away. It'll take just 10 seconds and I'll get the last piece of data we need to analyze this 6 unit. I'm using the Airbnb Wi-Fi right now, so it's a little slower than what I'm used to. If it takes too long, I'll just have to rough it. Yeah, Rabaya, real life, you got it. I'm not in the utopia of Cleveland right now. No, I'm back in Ontario. All right, let's see if this works. Okay, we are back. Let's do this one more time. Okay. And we said the other half would be 2 bedroom apartments. The first was 750 per unit. And so let's see what a 2 bedroom, actually pretty low, huh? About 900. So we have 750 and we have 900. The average would be about 825 per month, and we have 6 of them. So see how on average we're about at 5,000 and it's currently at 5,200. And so is there a value add play? Very slowly. Maybe every year you increase rents by $25, but it's not going to be I buy it and I increase rents by $200 the next month or the next year. It's really going to be a slower paced growth because it's already pretty much optimized on rents. Okay. So we have a sixplex here, basically at a 10 cap with cash flow, very little work or any work to be done. The whole building was rehabbed in 2021. And so everything is new from then, and now it's just been the wear and tear for the last 4 years. So, with that being said, deal or no deal here? Deal or no deal? Let us know. Is this something that you'd want to sink your teeth in? This was a property that was showcased for our VIPs at the last Epic Bus Tour and is currently under contract with one of our bus tour members. I know they're open to partnerships. They're open to working together. They're open to have conversations. So if that sixplex is really something you'd like to have a piece of, send us an email. Same thing, info@jkrealestatepartners.com, and we will plug you with the deal maker. So with that being said, that's our deal reveal. Look at that. We were 19 minutes with the intro, basically 15 minutes. We covered 2 properties, a duplex and a sixplex. Both look like to be right around 10 caps. That means there's cash flow. Looks like they're basically just under their market value, but it's turnkey, so we can't expect huge discounts. So again, if you like what you hear, send us an email. We'd love to help you acquire that first or next investment property in the US. Thank you so much for joining our deal reveal. And for those of you who don't know about our blueprint, our 3-day training to start from scratch all the way to buying your first and scaling your real estate empire. Well, stick around for the next 10 minutes. I'd like to show you how it's done and how you can also join the thousands of Canadians who have followed our training to invest the safest way possible we know into the US following a blueprint, right? We call it our epic blueprint, and you can, for $100, join a 3-day training that's coming up in early June, and there are still spots left, so listen up. What will you learn? You will learn how to protect yourself, how to set up your legal structure so that you don't get double taxed and you don't get sued. We are in the US. This is not Canada. We have to do it right. We're going to teach you where and how to find those deals, how to evaluate them, quickly, like we do here on the Deal Reveal, but also comprehensively using our ultimate real estate calculator. We're going to show you how to finance those deals, even though you're Canadian, even though you don't have a US income, US credit, or any type of US status. We're going to show you how to draft contracts. What wording do you need to have in your contracts to protect yourself, protect your assets? You are also going to learn a ton of different ways that you can buy and or profit from US real estate with little or no money down. In fact, we're going to cover more than 19 different strategies. This is all going to be day 3, creative real estate to the hilt. Just the information on day 3 cost Janie and I over $60,000 to acquire, and then 10 years of practice and implementation to see the difference between theory and practice. So there's a lot of value in that last day. We're going to show you about, teach you about property management. It's different if you're doing long-term rentals and short-term rentals, and we're going to cover both for you. We're going to teach you a strategy to recycle your money deal after deal after deal. You might know the story. Janie and I started with $39,000 10 years ago. And with that $39,000, we bought a first property. We bought a second property. We bought a third property. That one was a triplex. We bought a fourth property. We bought a fifth property in our first year. 7 doors, $39,000 is what we started with. And we keep on recycling the money over and over and over again. We want to set you up to win. And during that 3-day, we're even going to tell you, hey, if you have a property you want us to showcase live and analyze it, bring it, because there is opportunities right now for profiting as a Canadian or foreign national investing in the US. So it's a full 3-day blueprint. That's what we call it, the Epic Blueprint. It is a live training. It's not a recording. It is live for 3 days. And we're going to show you those 5 steps to your first US property. We're really going to hold your hand. It's June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. The value of this training is over $3,000. And how do I know that? When Janie and I got started in US real estate 10 years ago, we paid over $3,000 per ticket for our first 3-day real estate training. And we are bringing so much more than what we learned in our first 3-day. We're bringing you the 10 years of experience, trial, and errors that we've gone through. So you get the full 3-day training, $3,333 retail value. But we have some bonuses for you if you sign up today. You are going to have our ultimate real estate calculator, which includes some tutorial videos on how to use it in different scenarios and how to read it. We're going to include the Quick Start Boot Camp. That's valued at $111. Just that Quick Start is worth more than what you're going to pay for the whole training and all the bonuses. The point of the Quick Start is that after the blueprint, you know exactly where you're going to turn on the 2 valves of a real estate business, the money valve and the deal valve. You need both of them open to get your deals across the finish line. Third bonus, JK's Roadmap to Your First Property. This is an interactive ebook that narrates and goes through what our first year of US real estate investing looked like, and therefore what your first year might look like from a strategy point of view, from a don't fall in this trap point of view, from don't waste your time here, what's the lingo, what's the maximum allowable offer that you have to pay so that you can recycle your money deal after deal after deal. That's all in your ebook. And the last bonus is our 9 powers of real estate training that answers the question, why real estate? More than stocks, bonds, crypto, commodities. Why real estate? Because it has 9 powers, ladies and gentlemen. It is a very powerful asset class. It is a very powerful way to create wealth, build your net worth quickly, and cash flow along the way. So if you add up the whole training and all our bonuses, we are well over $3,500 here for you. And as I mentioned, by scanning this QR code or by clicking the link, and JK team, you're usually really good at dropping the link here. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. You just click on the link in the chat and you can RSVP your spot. $100. It is available for you right now. You'll notice if you click on that link that there's a little VIP option. So if you want the recording of the training, if you want a couple of extra bells and whistles, a little bit of extra support as well, one-on-one support from our team, for a little bit more, you get more access and more services. So you choose what you want. Just the base 100 or go VIP for, I think it's about 300, something like that. I don't even know. So with that being said, that's our blueprint. We have a couple of our members that are going to share a few words and let me know if it resonates with you.
Hi, my name is Mathis and I live in Toronto. I'm French and I've been in Canada since August 2019. I signed up last year in February or March 2023 with JK because I knew nothing about real estate, and I did a bit of investments in France but nothing in Canada, nothing in US, and I had to learn a lot, and I was looking for something that would teach me everything I needed to know, but I wanted to learn from people that were actually doing it. I didn't want to learn from people that had ideas or opinions. I wanted to learn from people with great successes and serious experience. So I did several fantastic trainings, but there are 3 that I really want to recommend. First, I did the Blueprint program, the live training in Florida in April of last year. And I took the VIP package, which was fantastic because I got to spend the time with the team for the entire time of the training, and I had unlimited access to Janie and Kyle and could ask all the questions I wanted. I also watched 2 other trainings, the Blueprint Expanding Program and What the Gurus Don't Tell You, 2 other phenomenal trainings that made me learn so much. Since then, since that first training in April 2023, I've been able to open my legal entities, keep on training, keep on learning. I acquired a first duplex end of October, a second one end of January. Both are cash flow positive, and yes, it's been an amazing journey. And well, I know I would have never been able to do that much within less than a year without working with them. And what made me 2 things made me want to sign up with them. A, they're phenomenal people. 2, they actually walk the talk and they know what they're talking about, and what they teach is what has helped them become successful. They might not be for everyone, but the only way to find out is just to talk to them, and it's been one of my best business decisions ever.
Metzis. Oh my goodness. And it's so great. Actually, in the last couple of weeks, he wrote back. He says, hey, I refinanced my properties and I'm ready to go again. So he's on the hunt for his next couple of properties and we're there to support him. And so at this point, I'm giving you right now this blank check. All right. Because in the next 60 to 90 days, you're going to get your first check regardless. It's either going to be that first cash flow check from your first property and building your way up to your financial freedom like we did. It took us 3 years to become financially free, ladies and gentlemen. 3 years. We're 10 years into our journey now. So it's either going to be that first cash flow check or it's going to be a reality check. You get to choose what kind of check you write for yourself. And I'm personally very excited to know what you write on your check. We hope to see you in our community. It is growing fast. We have thousands of members, and whether that be in Cleveland, whether that be live virtual on the Blueprint, we're just so excited to have you part of the growing community of Canadians and foreign nationals investing in the US. We are now over $100 million of US real estate acquired in our community. We're very, very excited and proud of you.
You know, like I would not have been able to do any of this without, Janie and Kyle and JK Real Estate Partners and the community and the support. Honestly, like the education is top notch, so detailed and helpful, like step by step. Honestly, I'm very grateful to have found you guys last year and to be part of the community. It's been life-changing for sure.
What would you say is the one big takeaway? You're 1 year into this, well, 6 months of acquisitions, 1 year into the learning process. You're just, I hope, seeing this as the beginning of your journey with so much more opportunity ahead. But you're 1 year in. Well, some people are just thinking about starting their first week, their first month, but you're 1 year in with this. What is your advice for the people listening in?
Like education for sure is important. Making sure you're setting yourself up for success to know how to do this properly, safely, correctly, but take action. Like just do it. Just make a move. Yes, it's a bit scary and you're worried about making a mistake and all these things, but just do it. Take action. Don't sit back. Just do it. At least one. Just try it. Kind of thing.
And speaking of Amanda and taking action, Amanda is now graduated from our blueprint, graduated from the courses, and she's now one of the JK coaches as well. So you'll see more of Amanda if you decide to join in on the blueprint. If you decide to join the community, Amanda is going to be one of your resource persons as well. So we're very, very excited for her and for you. So once again, on the screen, you can scan the QR code on the screen, or you can click the link in the chat. And for $100, you have your spot for a full 3-day training to see exactly how Janie and I have been doing this for 10 years, how our community members are doing it, and ultimately, showing you the way to your own financial freedom. So with that said, have yourself a great, great evening, everyone. It was wonderful having you here on the Deal Reveal, and we'll see you next time, now for tomorrow. God bless, and go get your miracle.